Get out your Easter bonnet with all the frills upon it, because I, Chef Michelle Bernstein, will be parroting my Easter recipes by you today. Join me as I give you recipes to celebrate Easter here, now on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Chef Michelle Bernstein in the Goya Kitchen at Junior Achievement of South Florida and Coconut Creek, and welcome all to SoFlo Taste and Happy Easter. It's the first spring celebration, and I've got the recipes perfect to share with family and friends. I've even got something for the Easter Bunny himself, Mom's carrot cake. So let's get cooking. I really wanted to start with the most perfect deviled egg recipe. So I'm going to teach you how to first cook a perfect hard-boiled egg and then how to make the gorgeous deviled egg. First and foremost, you got to use fresh eggs. For deviled eggs, they really have to be special. Start with boiling water, okay? This is called a spider, and this helps a lot in this because you can fit at least 3 to 4 eggs in a spider. All right, so very delicately and gingerly go into that boiling water, and as softly as you can, go ahead and drop the eggs down. Let's do that one more time. Very softly place the eggs in, and very, very softly let them go. I always break one, but not today. Okay, great. I have some iced water on the side hanging out, ready to go, because you have to stop the cooking process immediately by putting them into ice water. And that is how you cook a perfect hard-boiled egg, but also how they peel a lot easier. One is the freshness, and second is the cooking process and the fact that you stop the cooking process. All right, so moving much more forward, these are already hard-boiled eggs. These are the yolks from those eggs. Let's go ahead and jump right into delicious deviled eggs. So I always use a food processor. It's my favorite way to make the filling. Go ahead and place the yolks into the cup, and we're actually going to start off by running this a little bit and get them kind of chopped up. All right, once they're good and chopped up, we're going to go ahead and add really good quality mayonnaise. Use your favorite mayonnaise on this. I love 2 different mayonnaises. One is Kewpie, the Japanese mayonnaise, and the other is Duke's. And those are my 2 favorites. Anyway, you would think it would be my own mayonnaise because I do make delicious mayonnaise, but I don't know what it is about buying mayonnaise for deviled eggs. It just tastes better. Okay, I've got Coleman's dry mustard here. I'm going to add that in. Old Bay, my favorite ingredient of all this, which makes these so delicious. Add that in. And a little tiny bit of celery salt. It just kind of makes it taste a little 1950s, if you know what I mean. All right, we're gonna give it a couple dashes of your favorite hot sauce. And I don't go with my favorite Mexican hot sauces for this. I go with American hot sauces for this. I don't know, it's just what I do. All right, let's close this up and let this baby run. Then I'm just going to add a little bit of water to this because it just brings it all together. And there we have it, sure enough. So let me show you how it turned out. So it's beautifully smooth and delicious. Just make sure you taste it. That Old Bay, the celery salt. It kind of hits you right here. It's so good, so yummy. So I'm actually not going to pipe this because I love for it to be really cold when I pipe it. So I made some a couple hours ago, and I put it in the fridge so that it really sets. Put it in a pastry bag. You can even put it in a bag with a closure on it. I don't even use a tip on it, but I go nice and straight with the cut, and then I fill my eggs like so. I used to fill them really high, but I realized people don't like that because you can't really get it all in your mouth at one time. So I just go above the cut. Nice and simple, like so. Now, you can have so much fun with the toppings for your deviled eggs, but lately I've been really into crispy skins. So If I had the availability, I would always choose a crispy chicken skin, but we got a little lazy, and today we went shopping and bought some seasoned pork skins. So these are chicharrones. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and, oh, by the way, it's really great if you, hold on, how many do I have? 9, 10, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Let's go ahead and place them down on the yolk so they don't move. Because the last thing you need are your deviled eggs sliding around when it's Easter time or any time and you have people coming over and the kids are helping take things to the table. And let's just face it, there's always accidents. So I take my seasoned chicharron or chicken skin or whatever it is that you like, and I put a little piece coming out of the top. Now, if you don't love this idea, you can absolutely use your favorite pickle. It's also delicious. My husband loves to make Gibsons, so we use pickled olives a lot at home. But it's really up to you how you want to kind of have your fun. Maybe the kids can choose their favorites if they like deviled eggs. And then finally, for a little garnish, I take a little hot sauce. Oh, I missed one. I'm sorry, buddy. All right. And then I just sprinkle a little hot sauce over the top. And I think this is a beautiful beginning to a very, very happy Easter. I'll see y'all in a minute because I've got a lot more.
Come back to SoFlo Taste from the Goya Kitchen at Junior Achievement of South Florida.
Coming up right after SoFlo Taste, it's SoFlo Home Project with me, Elena Capra, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste, where I'm Eastering it up. And the where I am is Junior Achievement of South Florida in Coconut Creek, a wonderful and beautiful place committed to help teach the stuff you and I never learned in school, but I wish I did. Visit jasouthflorida.org for more information or call 954-979-7100. They're always welcoming. Now back to the food and the celebration of Easter. Okay, everyone, it is time for ham, and not just any ham. I have the spiral cut ham in the oven, just like I was told by the boys over at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. They actually have spiral cut ham this year, and you've got to go get one. They are absolutely beautiful. Now, it does come with this glaze. Delaware Chicken Farm does not make this glaze. They told me, toss the glaze if you want to and make your own, which is what they do too. So let's make a glaze for our spiralized ham. We're going to start out with some apple cider vinegar, honey, some soy sauce, brown sugar, Dijon mustard, whisk that up real good. You never want to see any little pieces of mustard at all. You want that to dissolve. And then finally, before it comes to a boil, I'm going to add in 2 whole star anise and 1 clove. Normally when you see a spiral cut ham, you see a lot of cloves. They stuff cloves all over it. I don't love cloves that much. I like them a little bit, but not a lot. I always find it a little bit numbing to the mouth, and so I decided to just add 1 because people use cloves. But I think this is one of my first or second spiral cut ham in my life, and I just didn't want to be too clove forward, if you know what I mean. So this is coming to a boil. We're just going to let it settle a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out the spiral cut ham from the oven and glaze it, and then we can get it back in there. So this has taken quite a bit of time. It's a really big ham. It's been in there for a couple of hours. So let's see what it looks like when we take it out of the oven. It's actually quite pretty. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and brush as much as possible, because this stuff is delicious, of the glaze all over the ham. And I love when it starts kind of falling down like that. It means that it's all the way warm in the center and it's almost ready to serve. So we're just gonna give it even more of a beautiful crust and go ahead and put it back in the oven. Uncovered this time. Make it good and crispy. And this is how it comes out. Look how beautiful this is when it's done. It's beautifully crispy. It has this gorgeous shine on it. It's just lovely. So I would, at the table, actually serve some nice warm little soft rolls with it, and just stuff some soft rolls with that ham, and you've got yourself something so delicious. All right, we are now gonna jump into, and this is gonna take a little bit to make, so be patient with me. We're gonna make my mother's carrot cake, and it is a beautiful recipe, and I'm gonna start off with the frosting, and then we're gonna go backwards and make the cake part of it. So in this bowl, I have a lot of powdered sugar that I put through a sifter. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to some cream cheese and butter. This is a whole lot of frosting, and I made 2 good-sized cakes earlier, so maybe it's too much, I'm not really sure. Sometimes Mom left me recipes that were beautiful recipes, but I had to double some of it and single some of it, and we're just matching it all together, and it's all gonna be delicious. So this is the zest of 1 orange. And it's interesting, I was zesting earlier, and my producer told me he never saw me zesting like this. So this is how I actually zest when I have time to zest a whole fruit, not when I just have a couple seconds with you all. So I actually go along the whole fruit and zest like this and collect all my zests up here and leave this all like sitting up on the top. And then when I'm done zesting a whole fruit, I turn it over and I place those zests into whatever it is I'm making. Okay, finally, a little bit of vanilla extract. And let's see if we don't cause a powdered sugar explosion on the table. Always start off nice and slow when you're working with sugar, especially powdered sugar, because you don't want it everywhere. Let me show you a little trick, just in case you're afraid of getting powdered sugar everywhere. Thanks, Amanda. We go ahead and we do this at the restaurants a lot because we work with a lot of big masses, right? Huge whipped cream. So we cover partially with plastic wrap. And that way you know you're not going to get covered with any powdered sugar or anything else for that matter. Okay, you don't need to sit here watching me make frosting this whole time. So I'm gonna go ahead and work this, the cream, the butter, and the sugar together to make a beautiful, fluffy cream cheese frosting. So when you come back, obviously, we've got more SoFlo Taste and more cake, only on Channel 10, of course. See you in a minute. SoFlo Taste will return right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. All of my recipes are available on the SoFlo Show's webpage. Just scan this quick response code. You'll be whooshed to the informative SoFlo Show's page. You'll also see the QR code on the ingredient list throughout the show. Now it's time for delicious chocolate bunnies and decorated eggs on my Easter recipes, including Mama's carrot cake. All right, everyone, we're gonna actually make the cake part of the layer cake. So we will sift all the dry stuff. So I've got all-purpose flour first. And it's a good size recipe, just so you guys know. But what's kind of nice about it is that you can do it all by hand. You don't actually need a mixer. So let's start sifting the flour. I'm gonna add right now the baking soda and salt. Cinnamon. And finally the sugar. Which you don't really need to sift, but I kind of like to in case you find any little hard parts in there. Okay, next I'm gonna go ahead and mix the wet ingredients. So start out with eggs. This is pureed carrots. So I took carrots, peeled them, chopped them up. This is about 1.5 bags, almost 2 little bags of carrots. Cooked them in water and then pureed them in a blender. This really helps moisten the cake an enormous amount. It's really cool. And it also obviously gives it a good carrot flavor. So that's just plain old carrots. We've got vegetable oil. And finally, vanilla extract. You fold the wet into the dry. Using a rubber spatula. Let's just pretend that's done. And then you add to it some chopped up canned pineapple, some coconut, and some walnuts. I'm gonna hand all those off to my trusty assistants in the back. Can you fold that together? So it's really only 8 ounces of pineapple, a little bit of walnut, and a cup of coconut. Thank you. So that we can get to the important part. We're gonna start actually layering this cake up together. So here's my beautiful carrot cake, at least a quarter of it. Here's our frosting that we just made, and here are my other layers. So this cake recipe makes 2 cakes. Once they're cool, you flip them out of the cake pan and you cut them in half, you cut them open. And it's actually a rather pliable cake. It's pretty easy. So let's just go ahead and start layering it up. And if you don't love the idea of the orange zest in the frosting, you don't have to use it, but let me tell you something, it's very special. It just makes it a little bit different, but really just delicious. So you gotta be a little delicate with the ones that are cut open, because you don't want to push any of the crumb around too much. I've got 2 offset spatulas here, so I'll work in tandem. Really delicately, just push it all down. Make sure you spread evenly, because you want every layer to be, well, as the same as possible. I know we're not making anything for sale here. This is just to eat at home. But I like everything to be as perfect as possible, even when I'm baking at home. All right, so then we top it with our next layer. And this is what I'm gonna keep doing until y'all come back. It won't take very long. So when you come back, we will see my mom's beautiful carrot cake. And hopefully we can give it a taste. So come right back, my taste buds. I'll see y'all in a minute. To get a taste of what we made on today's show, go to SoFloShows.com. Come right back. Welcome back to our Easter show here on SoFlo Taste. I went ahead and frosted the cake, and now I toasted some chopped walnuts that we can scatter around. My mom actually used to grate carrots around it. She would sometimes frost little tiny carrots shapes on top of the cake, or maybe some grated orange. It's really up to you how festive you want to be. Well, I hope you try one or all of these recipes for Easter, or any time family and friends sit for a celebratory meal. Next week, I'm elevating the lowly roast chicken. I'll be giving you 3 completely different ways to cook this most versatile of go-to meals. So make plans to join me on the next SoFlo Taste. Time to check in with design expert Elena Capra, host of SoFlo Home Project. Good morning, Elena. What have you got for us coming up?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. So today we are taking a look at the beauty of wood in home design. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, we share a behind-the-scenes peek at the creation and design of gorgeous wood furnishings.
Okay, Elena, we'll be watching, but I really don't have to add character to my house. I have 2 of them living there now, my son and my husband. So taste buds, again, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next week, and have a very happy Easter. Goodbye, mwah, and good taste.